picture here. All right, there we go. All right. Good evening. Thought we'll play with some of the features here on this OneStream platform. We're getting better and better at this thing, brothers and sisters, because you know we have our own show now on YouTube, on Closing the Gap Network, broadcast network, on the second and fourth Sunday of every month. We'll talk about that more a little bit later. But we're back. It is Saturday. We're back to talk about the money game, brothers and sisters, so Black people can win and dominate. When you consider all the other things that are out there, all the other information and distraction that's out there in society, right? How much of it is very important information that we need for our survival, about health, about the type of information, education we need, right? How to get along socially with each other. Right? If you watch the mainstream news, right, it's what, 80%, 90% craziness, negative, fear-mongering, and very little something positive. As much as this world needs positive information, there's not it's not a shortage of craziness and foolishness. It's drama. And we all like drama. There's no doubt about it. That's why the entertainment field is very big and very, profitable, if you will. It has a lot of revenue. It generates a lot of revenue, entertainment and sports. So we're not going to condemn these things. We're going to understand these things so we can use them at the right time, at the right place, for the right benefit, so we can enjoy life. All right? As long as it's not unrighteous, immoral, then that's what we're talking about. So money is one of those topics, brothers and sisters. And our unique position, Black Americans, if you want to call us that, right? Our situation is so unique. General information won't help, really, not to solve the problem. So we need specific information that talks and speaks to our condition. See, versus speaking to the problem, you speak to the condition. Because speaking to the problem is beneficial, don't get me wrong, but speaking to the condition, it allows us to understand all that's involved in the condition. Not just the problem of the wealth gap, not just the problem of income inequality, not just the problem of the lack of resources, financial access in the markets for resources, financial assistance, financial, for our businesses and growth of our businesses. That's the problem. What is the condition that problem comes from? See, that's the bigger picture. That's the bigger problem, if you will, that has to be addressed. And it's so big and so pervasive in our community. You're talking about ever since we've been here, that problem existed and just got bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why it takes something astronomical, a God event to address this problem, because we can't do it individual organization, individual religious groups, individual groups, sororities, fraternities. It takes all of us, and it really takes God to come in and infuse the solution to the problem. And this is my attempt by the writing of this book that came out last year, November of 2023. 2023 on November 23rd, which is my birth anniversary. So you want to get this book, right? And to give you an idea of what some of the content in this book, over 200 pages, 19 chapters, and a bonus chapter. So we come on Tuesdays and Thursday and Saturday nights just to give you a little peep, preview, trailer, commercial, whatever you want to call it. So you can get this book, brothers and sisters. You can't really be serious about money, getting the bag, and serious about the condition of Black people and being in that community yourself and not pick up this book. I boldly say you have to get this book, brothers and sisters. You have to get it. It is written by me, for you, FUBU, for us, by us, right? For you, by me. So you have to get this book, brothers and sisters, and you get it. And I'll give you 2 free gifts just to go to my website. So it's not just, give me money, then you'll get the book. Yes, you have to buy the book, but I'll give you 2 gifts free just so we can connect. We can get to know each other. This is not a one-time offer. By Allah's grace, this book will be a beginning of not so much a movement, but it will begin the start of something that we need more of than anything else. And that's unity. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said our unity is more important and more powerful than nuclear bomb or atomic bomb. Right? And I believe the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said our unity will solve 90% of our problems. So you get on that list. Go to themoneygamebook.com. Get on that list. You get 2 free gifts. 1, you get an audio, a downloadable audio. So you go to page 2, click, hit that download, boom, you got gift number 1. It's an audio I did entitled The Money Game. Just to give you an idea, a preview to what to expect in the book. All right, now the second gift, right? The second gift is a private, elusive, exclusive Zoom that we're going to have here, God willing, in the next 30 days or less, right? Once we get 100 subscribers to that website, then we're going to schedule that private Zoom. It's going to be private, meaning only those of us on that list, because I have about 42 other lists that I've accumulated over the years. But for this list only, we will have that private, elusive, exclusive Zoom call. All right. The last I checked yesterday, we were at 82. So we have 18 more, and we never want to hit a goal. We always want to exceed the goal. Right. So brothers and sisters, share it, share the website. You go to it. You give me your name and email address. You get the audio right away, and then you'll get a special invite to come to that Zoom where you'll be able to talk. We'll be able to talk about this book. You'll be able to ask me questions, right, about anything in this book. And of course, I couldn't put everything I know about the money game in the book, because my journey started over 44 years ago in 1980, and it has not stopped. So you can imagine consistent growth and development over 44 years. By Allah's grace, I was a financial advisor, stockbroker. They called it back then, financial advisor now. Series 6, Series 7, insurance license for 2 major Wall Street firms from 1996 to 2002. And from there, I went into full-time real estate investor, have my own real estate course. So it's continuous. It never stopped. Always been in sales and marketing, always been till this day. Just continues to operate in that space. 44 years, brothers and sisters. So you want to get this book. This book is not like any other book about money. And if you think you know what it's about because of the title, you're going to miss it. If you think you know what it's about because of the title, you won't buy it. It says the money game, so black people can win and dominate. So it's very clear. Then you have a chess piece. Is that a king? Right? And then you have gold coins. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that will become the currency in America, because the dollar won't be worth anything. And that's quickly approaching, faster and faster every day. So what we want to do on these lives, brothers and sisters, on Tuesday, Thursday night, and then Saturday around this time, make sure you hit the notification so whenever I come on, you'll be notified. We want to just take a little something out of here. Spend about 10, 15 minutes the most, right? You got to get the book so you can get more details, more context, and then the Zoom that we're going to have, right? But we just want to come on and just share just a little bit with you. So tonight we're talking about, we said chapter 2. So all the students who have their books, turn to chapter 2 on page 13. All right. Chapter 13. We've heard that that's an unlucky number. You get on the elevator, there's no 13th floor. Well, if it's unlucky for our enemy, then it's probably a lucky number for us. All right. So chapter 2 is the money game pillar number 1, Number one. This is the number one pillar, and that's income. You start reading that on page 14. Income, brothers. So I just want to talk about very quickly about income, because that's the starting point. There's 4 pillars to the money game. That's number one, and that's the most important, because you have to have something to work with. Income is what you and I have to work with. So we have to understand it's very important, but different from what you see in society, different from what you see on Instagram and Facebook and all these social media platforms. Different from that. Money or income is not the be all, end all to be all. It's the starting point. It's not the end. I say that in my book. One of our issues or problems or challenges is we get it confused. Everything is backwards. We think the beginning is the end, right? And we think the end is the beginning. What do you mean, Daryl? See, we treat money as if once you get money, whoo, man, that's it. We done. You know, it's going to be gravy. It's going to be easy. Once I get $1 million, 2 million, whatever your number is, it'll be better, surely, I hope. But that's not the end. The money game doesn't stop with income. It starts with income. Once again, you think that's the end, but it's really the beginning. Once you start understanding income and understand the money game to win and dominate, you'll know that, man, everybody around here talking about money like it's over now, like they've arrived. Yeah, you've arrived. You've arrived at the beginning of the game to win and dominate. Right? If you're not trying to win and dominate, then yeah, money might be the end for you. Man, once I get this money, I'm good. All right. But then you're not playing to win and dominate. I call that in the book, you're playing not to lose. To get to a certain level and you want to keep that status, you don't want to lose that status. So you do everything within your power not to lose that status versus everything within your power to expand and build on that status. Well, I don't want that much money. It's not about the money, brothers and sisters. Like I say, you're thinking that's the end all to be all. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. So income to the money in the money game to win and dominate. There's 4 pillars. Pillar number 1 is income. Then you have what type of income? You got passive income, residual income, you have earned income. That's in the book. That's for another call. I just want to touch on so we can start to think about and understand the importance of income. You can't save to invest if your income barely covers your essentials, your living expenses. You don't have a lifestyle, you just have living expenses, and that's common in America. Sometimes it's called the working poor. Statistics says that over 70%, about 76% of working Americans live from paycheck to paycheck. Meaning no matter how much your income is, how much money you have, your lifestyle is so high, whereas if you or I are those individuals, 70 to 76% of Americans that you and I see and drive by every day, pass by in a grocery store, walk past in mosque or church or synagogue or wherever we go for fraternity, sorority, 76% on average. So that means in some circles it's higher. Paycheck to paycheck, meaning if you didn't have a paycheck for a month or two, this is how your lifestyle is going to go. Your bills are going to become due, overdue, past due. Car notes due, past due, overdue. Threatening to come take your car, rent. Threatening to put you out, mortgage. Threatening foreclosure, 1 month, 2 months. Once again, understanding income. Understanding income. Right? Then you get into the other 2 and 3 and 4, the other pillars of the money game. But we have to understand income. Then we stack it up with pillar number 2. Then we stack it with pillar number 3. We stack it with pillar number 4. Now you know the pillars of a building, 4 corners of the building. Each has a pillar as the foundation to the stability of the building. So the stability of you and I playing the money game to win and dominate, we have to understand income. And then the other 3 that go in each corner of our building, our structure that we're building so we can win and dominate. If you know anything about building and construction, you know that the foundation has to be strong enough to hold and stabilize the weight of the structure. Has to have rebar and depth of concrete and the type of cements and how long you let it settle and firm up and things of that nature. So surely, if that's what it takes to build a building, a house, then you have mid-size, mid-level properties, then you have, high rises, then you have skyscrapers. All have different types of foundation. So if we want to win and dominate, then we have to understand these pillars. And we have to understand and have some kind of conceptual idea of what kind of foundation do I need if I want to build my stack this high. If I want my income, my wealth, my empire to be so big, then what kind of foundation do I have to build? What type of knowledge do I need? What kind of person do I have to become? In the world of metaphysics, you have to be that person before you have it. You have to do it often enough for it to become a habit to be it. Now you become that person that is worthy to have those things that you were working towards. All that's in the book. Metaphysics is in the book. Because you have to know, brothers and sisters, we have to know in order to win and dominate. It is not what they teach the masses of the people. It is not what you'll learn in school. It is not what you and I will learn in religious organizations. That's something totally separate and different. Some religious organization like the Nation of Islam, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad Minister Louis Farrakhan touches on it and has some examples. We have farmland in the Nation of Islam. Prior to 75, the Nation of Islam had grocery stores, canning. You just go back and do your research. All right? You just go back and do your research. You right? But just like in America, it's for the citizens of America to establish businesses and enterprises to support the economy of America, to provide jobs for the citizen of America, and all that the government asks is that everybody pay their taxes back. But it's not the responsibility of government to go into business and supply all the needs of the citizens. See, that has to organically and naturally come out of the self-interest of the citizens of that country to look and see, what do we need? What do my fellow citizens need? I'll go out and I'll establish that and provide that need. That's why this book is more than about money, because we have to know as Black people, Black Americans, what's in our best interest. Then we'll go out and establish those things in this free enterprise capitalistic society, and we'll produce it for ourselves and stop begging the government to do for us what we can get up and do for ourselves, so teaches the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. A self-respecting people do not ask someone else to do for them what they can get up and get together and unite and do for themselves. That's what makes this book different from 99.9% of any other book you read about money, because it's from our perspective. It's going after the solution to the problem, to the circumstance that we're in. Our circumstance far exceeds getting money. But that's a very important part. so we can win and dominate from a self-interest standpoint. Get it? Hope you get it. All right. So, brothers and sisters, just wanted to drop that on you real quick and encourage you to go to themoneygamebook.com, get your free gift, get on the list, because we're going to have a lot of things that's going to grow from this book. But you got to be around. Like we say in network marketing, stick and stay to get your pay, right? So get on that list, brothers and sisters. It's a private list. We're going to move like they move. In the back of the book, you get the book. On the back of the book, it gives you a real good synopsis of how this book is different. You don't even have to buy the book per se, but you should. It can't be about the money game and you're scared to release money. See, we talk about that in this book, metaphysics, the law of reciprocity. Okay, so go to that website, themoneygamebook.com, get on the list. We just need 12 more to meet our goal. But to win and dominate, you never meet a goal. You exceed a goal. Because there's all something that you don't know that you didn't factor into the equation that determine what number that you're going after in the money game to win and dominate. There's always something that you didn't factor in to come up with that destination, that where you want to end up or level you want to reach at the money game, that you have to always plan for. Financially plan for. You don't know how bad it's going to be. You don't know how long it's going to be. You don't know how deep it's going to be. But you will know it's coming. So you have to prepare for it as fast as you can. All right, brothers and sisters. So definitely go to that website. We only need about 12 more to meet, to meet that goal of 100 before we actually set the date for gift number 2, which is a private, elusive, exclusive Zoom, because it's about building. Don't think that the beginning is the end. Don't think buying a book is the end. Don't think reading a book is the end. That's what many of us do, unfortunately. But that time for that is over. It's a new day in the neighborhood. All right, my sisters. So with that being said, I'm going to get off here, take a little break. I'm going to come back on in about 15 minutes and tell you about the show next week. As I announced and said before, by God's grace, we've been invited to have our own show on Closing the Gap Broadcast Network. Every second and fourth Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to come on and talk about the money game. The money game. We're going to have guests and a lot of other exciting things. Live call in. Oh man, it's going to be nice. It's going to be real nice. Now, last week we had our inaugural show. It was Mother's Day, so I just came on and gave you an idea what to expect. You can go on to Closing the Gap Broadcast on YouTube and check it out. Now, next Sunday, we're going to have our first guest, and that's what we're going to come back and talk about here in the next 15 minutes. So I'm going to leave, excuse myself, shut this down, come back, and we're going to talk about episode number 2 on the Money Game Show, live on Closing the Gap Network. All right? So stay tuned. Come back in 15, 20 minutes, brothers. Don't go anywhere. Come back, and I'll see you then. All right? As always, I'll see you at the top, not from the top, because you, your family, but most importantly, our Black community deserves your very best. All right? Till next time.